Welcome back to the news at 10. Nigeria's film industry, popularly called Nollywood, may have been lauded for its ability to churn out movies in quick succession. But despite being ranked the second most prolific movie industry ahead of America's Hollywood and behind India's Bollywood at the turn of the millennium, it lags far behind in terms of output quality. Our big story tonight examines the challenges that appear to be limiting the industry from achieving its full potential.
In 2013, the Nigerian motion picture industry celebrated 20 years of mainstream cinemas. Earlier this year, the federal government praised the entertainment industry for contributing significantly to the country's rebased GDP.
We thank you and will continue to encourage you.
The federal government in recent years has also made available financial grants for the entertainment industry in a bid to further catalyze the growth of the industry. Sadly, it appears that the industry has reached a pseudo-peak, as save for a handful of movies, majority of Nollywood productions have been on a stagnant low budget, which of course determines the output quality.
When this gets out there, when this happens.
Filmmaker Emeka Osai, who is a beneficiary of the government grant, explains why making a big budget movie in the country is an impossible business.
It would be a very big mistake if you want to operate outside the economic size of the environment where you're operating in. Okay, before you begin to think of how much money to invest in any production, whether it is film or other consumer, goods, ask yourself, what is the size of market?
The daring filmmakers who try to operate outside the said Nollywood limits have had their hands burnt. B. Bandele recently worked on the screen adaptation of the acclaimed novel Half of a Yellow Sun, starring successful Hollywood actors including Chiwetel Ejiofor and Tandy Newton, in a bid to catch international attention. The film earned good reviews within and outside the shores of the country. But then, it failed woefully as a business as bootleggers feasted on the top quality production.
Half of a Yellow Sun was seriously pirated. That's basically people taking money from the table of a lot of people who would have very legitimately made an income from it. It makes it more difficult for hardworking people to invest money in movies.
The popularity of some of these movies have confirmed that they garner impressive numbers of eyeballs. So it's now a question of how to make profit from this popularity on the part of filmmakers. The average cost of a Hollywood movie on DVD is about $22 within its release year. That's about 4,000 naira. Here, producers are forced to sell their DVDs for less than 500 naira in order to compete with the pirate's price.
You see, we always say that distribution will drive content. When you have proper distribution, it will set up even the pricing of the product.
The cinema culture is gradually finding its feet again after the slump in the late 1980s. Unfortunately, though, there isn't enough screens in the country to pull significant income to encourage big-budget movies. Also, the need for available cinemas to earn profit makes what eventually goes to the movie owners as peanuts.
What they do now is they start with 50-50 and it goes down, every week in their favor. If we're really in that spirit of promoting Nigerian content, I think we should do 50-50 throughout.
All indications show that for Nollywood to grow beyond its current status, it must first be a viable business. And for it to be a profitable business that will attract the Hollywood-type budget, a proper distribution line that will erase the lacuna that Piracy thrives on must be established. Otherwise, the industry will celebrate its next anniversary with the same old song.
And the outgoing flag officer commanding the Western Naval Command, Rear Admiral Sami Alade, has given the assurance that the fight against pirates will be sustained. Rear Admiral Alade disclosed this at the handing over ceremony in Lagos to mark his exit from the command. He said he's confident that his successor will continue from where he stopped in ensuring the waterways are free of criminals. Our correspondent Loretta Chogo reports.
This is a usual tradition in the Navy, especially when guards are changing or a top shot exits the formation. And as the flag officer commanding the Western Naval Command carries on duty as the Director of Transformation at the Naval Headquarters, Abuja, he hands over the guard here to a man who once was a CSO at the command. He's not leaving without mentioning the achievements recorded under his watch in 11 months, which includes operational exercises locally and with foreign navies.
When I came on board, we had a lot of cases of hijack of vessels at sea. We had cases of kidnapping, hostage taking, and oil theft. However, through sustained patrol, by deployment of at least one vessel every day, the situation has been brought under control.
After receiving the symbol and other related documents to officially situate his new office as the FOC Western Naval Command, Rear Admiral Zimri Ango says the capability of the men can only improve with constant training.
Improving the capability of the men mainly is through training. Through training and the provision of adequate resources, appropriate resources to perform their duties.
Meanwhile, 5 men were earlier arrested and in the custody of the Western Naval Command over suspected crude oil theft. Loretta Chogo, Channels Television News.
First Bank.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Welcome to Business News. And in the spirit of Yuletide, financial markets around the world are closed today and tomorrow for the Christmas and Boxing Day holidays. But before the holidays began, midweek trading saw equities at the Nigerian Stock Exchange close in the green, up by 5.01%. Nigeria's all-share index finished at 34,428 points. Meanwhile, Ghana's composite index shared a 0.68% to close at 2,286 points. In other parts of the world, the U.S. Dow Jones Industrial Average closed 3% higher at 18,030 points. Europe's FTSE 100 gained 0.18% to close at 6,609 points, while Asia's Nikkei 225 closed at 17,808 points after shedding 0.25%. All were midweek trading figures. Well, the Yuletide season usually brings about changes in the prices of items in the commodities market. This time, however, prices of clothing at the Balogun market is greeted with mixed feelings by Nigerians. Well, a survey carried out by our correspondent Temple Ashaju reveals that the price of children's clothing remained unaffected by market forces, while the price of imported fabrics rose.
Vehicular and human traffic on broad streets. The roads leading to the popular Balogun market on Lagos Island. The reasons behind these mass movements to the markets is the Yuletide season, which piles pressure on parents to buy clothing for their children. They explain how the price of children's clothing remain unchanged.
I came to the market to buy my children's Christmas clothes. The prices are, somehow normal, not. They're okay. I bought some children's wear. I bought some slippers, some shoes. The prices are not really, there's not much difference in the price.
No, they are not so high. They are normal because there's not so much money. So you can see a lot of people that are bringing out their commodities to sell outside. Auction some of them. Down before it's 4,000. Now you can get it 2,000, 1,500.
The cost of everything is so high, in the sense that people, no cash, but people force themselves to buy things for their children, for their loved ones.
We're begging before they will buy. We are begging them before you buy. But if not before, you cannot see it. You can't get a chance. Rush everywhere. But now, no money.
While the prices of items in markets are determined by the level of patronage, traders will always have a way of deciding their prices based on their determinant factors.
The amount we purchase dollars now, it has gone up from 160 now. Presently today is like 194. So that has given an adverse effect on the purchase. Like some places for 5,000 before, they're selling for 5,500 now, or 6,000.
The way business used to be in the time past, this time you can't come in here. That we make sales till 7 p.m. Even ask some customer, come tomorrow. But nothing like that because things are very difficult.
It is clear that most of the items that have experienced no change in price are products that are locally produced. However, those that have seen an increase are mainly the imported fabrics. Temple Ashaju, Channels Television News.
Well, falling crude oil prices have continued to have a negative effect on the nation's external reserves. According to new data on the Central Bank of Nigeria's website, the external reserves have between November 24th and December 23rd dropped by over $2.19 billion from $37.03 billion to $34.8 billion. The foreign reserves have in the last 5 days dropped $43 million to $34.8 billion from $35.27 billion. As the reserves have been affected by the recent devaluation of the naira and, of course, those oil prices that continue to fall. Well, to shore up much needed funds for the sustenance and development of Kaduna State, the Governor, Mukhtar Yero, plans to focus on non-oil revenue. Well, this comes as the state plans to generate about 27 billion naira internally in 2015, while internal and external loans during the year would amount to about 60.3 billion naira.
We are going to focus our attention on non-oil revenue. That's we are going to intensify our effort in ensuring that we generate more revenue internally. We have a lot of potentials to generate revenue. So we are going to block all the leakages, and then we also try as much as possible to reduce all the wastages that we have. And that's why we introduced the point of sales, that is the POS machine. In all the places that we are going to generate revenue, we are going to now be using POS machine, in order to reduce the romance that the staff of revenue are having with the physical cash, and thereby creating one problem or the other. And then we are also going to intensify our search and also our effort on the issue of land, because we have a lot of potentials in the Ministry of Land, thereby we can create more revenue in that area.
Well, that's it on Business News. On the news at 10, Amarachi returns in a moment.
First Bank.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Nigeria's #1 safe hands, Vincent Nyama, shortlisted among the final 3 for CAF 2014 Africa Footballer of the Year Award. We'll have more in sports news. Please stay with us.